That is coming in. Let me introduce that to our viewers. The Israel Defense Forces have said that it carried out strikes on aircraft at Mehrabad International Airport, claiming that 16 aircraft used by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the Quds Force, were destroyed. According to the IDF, the aircraft were allegedly being used by the Quds Force to transfer weapons and resources to allied groups across the region, including Hezbollah in Lebanon. The Israeli military described the airport as a key logistics hub for supplying Iran's regional proxy forces. The military also said that several Iranian fighter jets that posed a threat to Israeli aircraft were targeted during the operation as part of a broader wave of strikes on Iranian military infrastructure. And in some more information coming in after the massive explosion that took place in an oil storage facility south of the capital, Tehran, as strikes hit the city during the US-Israel military campaign. Israel's capital city of Tehran woke up to thick black clouds and fumes. On your screens, you can see visuals of the Iranian capital, Tehran, after attacks on oil depots. The explosions have created an environmental hazard for the residents. Let me in fact go across to General Dwivedi on this. General Dwivedi, this is obviously something that we are going to see, the consequences of the war. We are obviously seeing a massive oil storage facilities being targeted, and this had led to massive fires. It has led to environmental hazards that are coming up. Even the UN coordinator has warned that there might be toxic rain, in fact, in areas where oil facilities are being attacked. General Dwivedi, if you can hear us.
Yeah, can you just repeat, because I lost your last.
Yes. So General Dwivedi, when we're talking about these oil facilities actually being targeted, this has led to a lot of environmental and humanitarian hazards that are taking place. The UN has warned of toxic rain in the areas where there are oil facilities, and we are also talking about these strikes that Israel seems to have been hitting their military infrastructure so that they cannot supply logistics to Hezbollah.
Absolutely, Shivani, because the targeting by the Americans and Israelis has shifted from the precision strikes more on the logistics and the industrial complexes, and also energy, because energy is one of the very major factors, and that's why they have targeted the three major energy depots around Tehran. Because after all, how does Iran get money? How does they get the money to fight the war? And that is energy. In case the energy, installations are destroyed, they are not able to export any oil, so obviously there will be serious crunch of funding. And also along with that, the Mehrabad airport that have been targeted, it was being used for the military purpose, both by the Iranian forces and also by the other groups which are supporting the Iranian government. Now, 2-3 important points which I wish to make. Yes, I think Ambassador Fabian is right that the proxies is a word that is being used by the Western forces, but these are the terrorist groups, and willy-nilly we tend to use those terms which are being used by the belligerents on the battlefield. Secondly, absolutely right, the Hezbollah was created in 1982 when the Israelis invaded Lebanon by the clerics of Lebanon, and of course by the clerics of Iran. And Hezbollah is a force to reckon with. Their strength is about 30 to 50,000. They have about 100,000 rockets, and they have the new force, that is Advanced Force, which is the specialist force. And if we go back point in time, in 2006, there was a 34 days conflict between Hezbollah and Israelis, and so therefore they have been keeping the northern front of Israel active, and they again became very active after 7th October 2023, after the Hamas attack on Israel, just to extend their support to the other fringe groups. So the point is that the battle is fought across the various domains. And of course, on the naval ship, yes, Ambassador Fabrin, you are right that these naval ship belongs to the IRS, that is the Islamic Revolutionary, Iranian Navy, and not to the other groups like IRGC. And this is one of the stated aims of the Americans and Israelis to knock off the Iranian Navy, because that's a major force to reckon with, and Iranians have a reasonably good capability on the sea, whereas the Air Force was totally knocked off in the initial phases. But now the Navy has also become almost defunct, obvious from the activities, or obvious from the reports that some of the ships are taking refuge in the ports of the friendly countries. So all I can say is the war is today more on the strategic targets. The aim is to break the fighting capacity of the Iranians. Secondly, the non-state actors would be very active, and they will support their masters who created them. And thirdly, as far as the regime change is concerned, I don't think any change is going to come in national policy. It's going to be continuing the same thing by the different people, and President Trump is not satisfied. He wants to have a hand or say in the regime change. Well, that is, I think, more of a tall talk, because I don't think President Trump can really influence the regime change. It has to come internally from the people of Iran, and when it happens or how it happens, that is to be seen. Shivani.